Welcome, travelers. Sorc has two absolutely amazing builds this season, the Zoom Ball of Lightning and the Boom Ball of Lightning. One kills everything on impact as you're running over the battlefields, while the other one hurls out permanently overpowered Super Ball of Lightnings that shred everything into pieces. With my not even greater affix unique gear, hit 90 has already fallen. And all of this without relying on mythics or chaotic uniques. Sorc is absolutely brilliant. The Zoom Ball of Lightning is being used for Infernal Hordes, Chaotic Rift Nightmare Dungeons, Hell Tides. You hold down your left mouse button, walking around, then you can dash teleport wherever you want to be, and in the meantime you just spam your right mouse button for Ball of Lightning, Ball of Lightning, Ball of Lightning, Ball of Lightning, and everything will die instantly on impact or not even get close to you and already keel over. It is simply brilliant. You never run out of mana, you can't take damage. Awesome. The Boom Ball of Lightning is what we use to absolutely send bosses back to the lobby by holding down our Ball of Lightning button and then just destroying them with Super Ball of Lightnings. And it's also the version that we use for pit pushing, as permanently super overpowered Super Ball of Lightnings just lead to 10, 20, 30, 40 billions of damage. And if you have good gear, hundreds, billions, and even more, which is crazy. The very good thing about both of these builds, they pretty much share the same equipment, the same Paragon Boards, and also the same skill points. There's very minuscule minor differences. You pretty much get two builds for the cost of one. Let's start with the Zoom Ball of Lightning, and you can begin as soon as you hit Torment 1. Until Torment 1, I recommend playing the Chain Lightning together with Hydra, planners in the description below, to get to Torment 1 and get your 666 Ether Bartuk for the unique power. The unique power in this case would be Mana Shield. You have 99 reduced maximum life, we're pretty much sitting at 15, and damage is dealt to your mana before life. If you have not taken damage in the last 2 seconds, you get insane mana regeneration, and we have 400% increased maximum mana. This has us currently set at 13,538 mana, and we can pretty much not die. With this in your backpack and the Oaken's Catalyst that has you cast the Ball of Lightning while you're moving, and the Ball of Lightning will now rotate around you, doing 234% bonus damage per active Ball of Lightning. You can already jump from Torment 1 to Torment 3. Just pick up the Oaken's Catalyst from Lord Zur, and for this you only have to kill the Helltide Lady and Mana Shield. That's it. In order to make it even stronger, we're playing Asador's Overflowing Cameo. This is also from Lord Zur. Crackling Energy now gains 10% damage for every level in Shock Skills. More Shock Skills, more damage. And if we fill up Crackling Energy all the way, we shotgun it out at the opponent. Now currently, without any boosts, we already have 5, 10, 18, 23, 36, 50 skill levels, so another 500% damage from Asador's Overflowing Cameo. Obviously, we're boosting this even further, and that leads to our enemies not only dying on contact with your Ball of Lightnings, no, they're actually dying even before that because they're going to get hit by Crackling Energy. And the new Sorc item, Galvanic Azurite, helps us tons too. Galvanic Azurite says, lightning damage leaves enemies magnetized for 4 seconds, causing them to emit crackling energy, and increasing all lightning damage they take from you by 60%. If two magnetized enemies hit each other with crackling energy, they pull each other together. That one doesn't matter. It's more about them even emitting more crackling energy, and all your crackling energy is boosted. So there's damage happening between enemies that even remotely get hit by you by one of your lightning spears, whatever, and they just kill each other. Those 3 items form a good base, but since we now have infinite mana and we can't die, you could do some really nasty things. And that would be first using Power Siphon. Your core skills deal 100% increased damage, but also reduce your maximum current resource by 20 for 6 seconds. This reduction stacks but does not refresh. Who cares? I can spam away the Ball of Lightning, and I have 13,000 mana. I'll never run out of it. I get the bonus. This is guaranteed. And we can play advanced techniques on top. Your base core skill ranks increase their mana cost by 10% and further increase their damage by 20. I get 14 ranks on this. This makes it cost 120 mana, while also giving it massive damage bonuses. But these are only 14 core skill ranks, without bonus ranks to core skills on many items that I'm actually missing. And also without my rune triggering, you can set up to 34 Ball of Lightning ranks in total, making it vastly more costly, but you have infinite mana, at the same time though giving it insane damage boosts. Now since this is the first version of the Zoom Ball of Lightning, in order to get as many skill ranks as possible, we kind of put 5 full skill ranks in Charge Bolt, 5 full skill ranks in Chain Lightning, we have 5 skill ranks in Lightning Spear, right? Just boost it all up. All the skill ranks in Ball of Lightning possible, plus 5 skill ranks in Unstable Currents. Interesting enough, if you really want the most skill ranks possible, I choose to play the Paingorger's Gauntlets. They have a greater affix on basic skills. They give me attack speed, they give me cooldown reduction, and they actually have a lucky hit chance to stun, so all good things. Let's ignore the aspect doesn't matter. With those Paingorger's Gauntlets, I can pull the 5 points out of Charge Bolts and put them all into Arc Lash, and suddenly I get 16 bonus ranks on skills, which will give our Asador's Overflowing Cameo Crackling Energy another 160% bonus damage. It seems really weird to play these gloves, but they lead to so much more damage. Later, we can replace this through Chaotic Armor, but for the first version, for actually getting to Torment 4 and destroying everything, it's godly. The same goes for the pants. Actual Conduit gives you ranks to Chain Lightning. Okay, ranks to Chain Lightning, that's perfect. That's again, bonus damage for Asador's Overflowing Cameo, and that makes enemies die even easier. While the actual Conduit pants itself also gives us more resource and more resource generation to then help us to get mana easier back up again, and to have even more mana in general. While my boots have another 5 ranks in Ball of Lightning, preferable greater affix, triple masterwork, movement speed and intelligence, plus the evade cooldown reduction, what is very important here is that you have attacks reduce evade cooldown. Because we're not playing the teleport in our skill bar, no. The teleport is our enchantment together with the Lightning Spear enchantment. And since we're now spamming our Ball of Lightnings around us while we're moving, we can then teleport, teleport, teleport. Why don't we play a single defensive skill? So that we can use the aspect of Tena's Destruction for another 42% bonus damage. Easy peasy. Here in the weapon, and it should be a sword for critical strike damage. We want critical strike damage and the chance for Ball of Lightning projectiles to cast twice, plus even more critical strike damage. Ignore the maximum life. I should roll that away for anything that's not maximum life because we don't care about maximum life. The aspect we're rocking in our ring is going to be Crackling Energy has a chance to deal more damage and Chain, Unstable cooldown reduction and critical strike damage, while the ring itself has 0 maximum life because again we reduce that all the way to nothing. And then we get attack speed, vulnerable damage, or critical strike damage would be preferred. But I had that. Attack speed is good, so you can spam away with your Ball of Lightning to really have those 20 Ball of Lightnings permanently around you. As a chess piece, you're playing Raiment of the Infinite for the Glass Cannon and teleporting, pulling enemies together. Beautiful. The helmet is an extreme special piece, the Crown of Lucion. It makes your skills cost even more, up to 325 mana, and gives you another 75% bonus damage. The more mana cost is really important for the second stage of the build, where we start to actually mix in the overpowers. The first stage of the build is just happy about the 75% bonus damage. And with this, you can already do Torment 4. You can do Pit 70. You can get all your glyphs maxed out, and you can even kill Torment 4 bosses. However, to really punish and destroy Torment 4 bosses, you would like to swap your Oaken's Catalyst over to Strike of the Stormhorn. But we can't do that yet. Strike of the Stormhorn says we're now doing Super Ball of Lightnings for 125% bonus damage and another 300% bonus damage. You need a lot of chance for Ball of Lightning projectiles to cast twice to get those Super Ball of Lightnings. Now, in order to have Strike of the Stormhorn give you always super overpowered balls of lightning, you need a Banished Lord's Talisman, because that would give us an overpower when we spend 275 resource. And remember me saying Ball of Lightning actually costing 325 because of the Crown of the Lucian, together with the advanced technique and many ranks in Ball of Lightning. Problem here being that the Banished Lord's Talisman is an amulet, just like Asador's Overflowing Cameo, so I can't just simply kick Asador's Overflowing Cameo out. No, what we're going to do is we're going to take this build that we have, the Oaken's Catalyst, and we're going to start farming Infernal Hordes. Anyways, you have been going through the Helltides, you have been going through Nightmare Dungeons with the Chaos Rifts, so you have a lot of compasses. And now with this build, you can super easy farm Infernal Hordes and get your first chaotic uniques. And that hopefully will be a Banished Lord's Talisman as a glove. It doesn't matter if it's a pants, a boots, a chest. You just want to get a Banished Lord's Talisman. This will give you core skill ranks and attack speed. The core skill ranks and attack speed are amazing for the Zoom Ball of Lightning because of the Asador's Overflowing cameo, since the Chain Lightning is a core skill. Your Ball of Lightning is a core skill. And then you can pull out the 4 points out of Arc Lash and put them all onto the Charged Bolts. Because in our skill bar, Charged Bolts will then have 10 rings due to the +5 core skill ranks, and our Asador's has more damage than ever. Goodbye Pain Gorge's Gauntlet at this point. Now with the Crown of Lucian and the Banished Lord's Talisman, we're guaranteed to have Oaken's Catalyst on top of doing insane crackling energy damage, also Overpower. Great. Now we want to destroy bosses though, and that's where the Strike of the Stormhorn then comes in before Oaken's Catalyst, and we're also changing our Talisman from Asador's Overflowing cameo over to Lochran's Talisman. Lochran's gives us a ton of critical strike chance and critical strike damage for every resource point over 100 up to 500 resource. And that's actually 400 times 0.2, another 80% critical strike damage on top, multiplicative, amazing. Now as you can see, nothing really changed on the swap, right? We just replaced Oaken's Catalyst and Asador's with Strike of the Stormhorn and Lochran's Talisman. You don't have to do anything different, and that would be your setup for destroying bosses. Now you can do even more though, especially when you're pushing into deeper pits. And that would be pulling some points out of Charged Bolt, because we don't need the maximum ranks into these skills anymore. No. And these points can be used for Blizzard, and then Wizard's Blizzard. While you have an active Blizzard, you gain 1 mana regeneration for every 20 maximum mana. This in between woven in, while you're spamming away at the enemies, will easily increase your mana regeneration, never have you run out, and you never have to stop spamming away. Especially in the higher pit tiers, where just standing still and then go like super balls. It's perfect. You can also pull the skill ranks out of your Spark and use them for the Permafrost, because now we actually do have a Frost skill in our skill bar for that 18% more damage. While also moving all the skill ranks out of Chain Lightning and Lightning Spear to get yourself the Primordial Binding and the Mana Shield up for a bit more survivability. And suddenly you have the perfect pit pushing build. No worries, the planner in the description below has the skill tree for the Zoom Ball of Lightning and for the Boom Ball of Lightning setup that you can put both into your armory and just seamlessly swap between them for the content. I use the Zoom for everything but pit and bosses, and then I swap over to the Boom for pit and bosses. Now we're not done getting the build OP, because you can now get a Crown of Lucian as a chaotic unique as well. And that could be your pants or your boots. And then we can play an Heir of Perdition or a Harlequin Crest. More ranks with a Harlequin Crest for the Asador's Overflowing cameo, or more core skills with the Heir of Perdition for the Overflowing cameo and for our Ball of Lightning. We can replace our ring with a Ring of Starless Skies for even more core skill ranks, again for the Asador's, or simply to make our Ball of Lightning go completely out of control. If you use Ring of Starless Skies though, that will reduce your mana cost by 50%. So we would have to have the Ball of Lightning in the Boom Ball of Lightning build, all the way up to 34 ranks. And for this we have a Rune Combo. The Rune Combo is called Sir Vex. Vex gives you +1 to all skill ranks for 10 seconds, and we only have to spam skills to activate this. This has all our skills get +3 ranks as we're spamming away, which is fantastic for just more damage and more mana cost together with the Ring of Starless Skies, but also for Asador's Overflowing cameo to just go crazy. The second Rune Combo we're playing is simply Nagu because due to the unstable currents and the Lightning Spears that we're randomly getting, we always have enough summons up to consistently get that Barbarian Warcry for 15% more damage. The other chaotic armor we could get after having our Crown of Lucian as our pants, for example, is Lochran's Talisman actually as a pair of boots or as a pair of pants. Because if you then get Lochran's Talisman, you can either play an amulet that gets the aspect of Tenuous Destruction and passive skill ranks to make us stronger, and or on the Zoom Ball of Lightning, you could actually play Asador's Overflowing Cameo together with Lochran's Talisman as a chaotic armor, which is crazy. Again, all of these versions are in the planner. The base versions plus the chaotic unique versions for the Boom Ball of Lightning and for the Zoom Ball of Lightning. No worries, I got it all spelled out for you that you can enjoy the maximum super maxed out versions and the basic anti-casual drivers that I have. Armor and resistance don't really matter because we're super tanky due to all the mana. However, the more armor and resistance you have, the less damage you're taking to your mana as you're just existing. For this, I recommend not to forget about the resistances. Here, Soothing for another 150 armor, and also for the Song of the Mountain for another 300 armor. Plus, obviously, don't play the standard 6% diamonds, play better ones, and a super big skull on your amulet. That should fully armor and resistance you out easily. Hell, I didn't take a single resistance point actually in my tree here right now, because you don't need it, kinda. I mean, could take the damage reduction so we at least take less damage again to our mana and can zoom a bit harder. Paragon-wise, we get exactly the same boards going on. You want to have the Adapt glyph to increase the area of mastery skills, making the Ball of Lightnings bigger and giving you more damage with mastery skills while maxing out the intelligence here. Then we go over to Ceaseless Conduit for more damage as we pick up Crackling Energy together with Destruction maxed out for critical strike damage. Into the Frigid Fate for that 60% bonus damage against vulnerable enemies, and also the Eliminator for a lot of intelligence bonus. This has us pick up Enchantment Master with also Unleash here, boosting the magic nodes, and after spending 50 mana, you deal 8% increased damage and gain 25% increased mana regeneration. Really worth it. Lastly, we got Static Surge for that 50% damage increase, together with a Tactician for another 15% damage increase after casting a defensive skill, and we cast our defensive skill by evading due to the teleport enchantment. Ladies and gentlemen, Boom and Zoom Ball of Lightning. I hope I could explain it as easy as possible to you. If there are any questions left, ask them in the comment section below. Otherwise, you should check out these two videos. They're going to improve your gameplay tons. Enjoy.